Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another edition of Awesome Calls Trading live recap webinar for April 2nd, 2019. Yesterday, my beautiful son, Sebastian, actually got me on an April Fool's joke. Every year he seems to get me. I don't know. He's smart. I think one time he got me where I just got tires for one of my cars, and they're really expensive. And he comes out and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Dad, you got a flat." I'm like, "Oh," and I'm freaking out in the car. I'm like, "Darn it!" And I get out of the car. I'm like, "Gosh, darn it! Gotta get another $480. Damn, sucks. I just got that." And I look and it's like, I'm like, "Oh my god." So last night's was, what did he say? No, he texted me last night. "Oh, I sold a Neo. I took a loss." It's like, I sent him 50 text messages. "Seb, what are you doing? I'll give you the money. Keep it. Oh my God, don't you dare." And I was going on and on. He waited 5 minutes after about 20 messages. He went, "I would never sell it, Dad. Not with my average. I got you." So he got me. I don't know. He understands me. Now we're doing stock April Fool's stuff. Can you believe it? 19-year-old kid fooling his dad with stock stuff. Oh boy. That's just life, I guess. Wait till he works for Goldman. Huh? "Oh, Dad, yeah, CarMax is buying Hertz." Big fools. I can just see it now. Oh my goodness. Anyway, hey, welcome to another edition of Awesome Calls Trading. And I want to thank you very, 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 very much. And I'm going to go over quite a few, just about 7 plays for you. I've already got them lined up for you. We had a really good day today. Market was kind of flat this morning, and it was really it was just kind of flat. But I was able to find about 30 to 40 different ideas, and I narrowed them down to about 14. And I want to show them to you one by one. I think you'll like it. But we had some really interesting. I'm writing them down as we are talking to you as we speak right now. I think you're gonna like them. Let's see. What we're going to start with is our number 1 pick in the chat room. Again, every day it is my job to find my short sellers in the room, and I want to deliver every day to them, and I can't always get shorts on my platforms. I have Fidelity, I use NTD and SpeedTrader. A lot of people are using TradeNet. I mean, I couldn't even get shares on LW, and wait till you see that trade. And it's unfortunate, but it is, it is what it is. I mean, I can't stop traders from making money just because I can't find shorts, and that's not the way I operate. But my main objective is to show the traders how a stock is going to trade out, what it's going to do, and where it's going to go, and why. The most important thing in these lessons is always to teach a trader why is a stock moving the way it's moving. And the reason is because in Awesome Calls Trading, I really want to educate the traders more than anything in the world. That's more important to me than anything. If a trader can come in here and walk away just being phenomenal and learning and being able to find his own plays, I love trading with an individual, but to be able to watch them grow and just get up and find their own ideas, and even if they look at my list, they'll know exactly what to look at and why I probably picked that. And that's the rewards of day trading, when you can actually get up in the morning and just literally find plays on your own. But before you get to that level, you got to understand them, you got to trade them a lot, and you got to get a feel of the market. And I have so much respect for Darkside and Janny and B Trades and Fire and all my mods in here, and Palmer and Raphael, and the way they can look at stocks, and they trade from a technical standpoint. And for me, when I trade off. I'm like imagine if you look at my charts, whenever you see them every night, you see that they're very little lines. I don't when you look at people's recaps, you always see them having these lines drawn across with channels and breaks, and some people put fingers inside. So stupid. But for me, I like. If you ever saw this movie called In Search of Bobby Fischer, he was a genius little kid that played chess. It was one of my favorite movies. I have it recorded, and there's a certain scene I like, and Ben Keasley, he was the master, and the little kid was sitting there, and he was playing chess, and the kid couldn't see that he was so smart, but he didn't visualize the move 20 steps ahead. And so the Grand Master, what he did is Ben Keasley, in the scene, he wiped the board clean and threw every piece of the puzzle of the chessboard on the ground. And the kid just stared at the ground, and then he turned his head and he stared at the board for 10 minutes. And he goes, "Now see the move." And right then and there, I realized that's me. That's who I am. I'm that guy. I clear the board, clear the lines, clear all the noise. Basically, I clear the noise, and I just look at the stock. I don't try to sit here and sell you DVDs. I don't sit here and try to sell you a bunch of stuff. It's not what I do. It's not who I am. Okay? My job is to teach you, to educate you every day, trade after trade after trade after trade. At some point, being in this kind of surrounding, it's going to hit you. And before you know it, you're a master. And by that kid doing that, he beat the championship, and he won at the end. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. And that's who I am. I'm a guy who just clears the slate. That's why when you see my charts, there's nothing there. It's like, well, how did you know the stock would go there? That's what I do. So this morning, let's start with our number. Okay, we'll start with our number 2 pick. All right, SGMO. I put this up for a reason too. SGMO had, when I read the news this morning, I was really not, to be honest with you, as impressed as maybe some of you. I think the reason why the stock exploded, to be honest with you, was most likely because it had a deal. It was working with Pfizer on it. And Pfizer gives a lot of credibility to a company like SGMO. So what happened is that this morning the news came out. They announced positive data on a phase half. Now, if you've been trading in Awesomecalls Trading, you understand that phase half is kind of junk. It's just something I don't look at. I don't give credit to, but because it's with Pfizer, it's being treated a little bit different. Otherwise, the stock would have collapsed all the way to $10 and under. And I kind of knew that coming in, so I didn't call for a full gap fill. But I did want the stock to get chased towards the $14.50 to $15, as you can see. And then I wanted it to come down to 2 to 3 points. But in the middle of the afternoon, I found very interesting is Wells Fargo came out, and Dave, the trader, one of our great traders in the room, has been here over a couple of years, handed us a great alert that Wells Fargo was increasing the price target from $24 to $34. All right, so we were shorting the stock right then and there. I said, go ahead and cover right now. And if it breaks again back to $12.50, go ahead and reshort the stock. Because in my opinion, the stock should come down to about 12 and under, probably $11.50 the way it's trading. But what it showed me right then and there was, okay, here we go again. I'm going to teach all these chat rooms that sit in our room. And this is where it kind of gets pretty fucked up when you have such talent and you have to teach others. And then what they do in their rooms is they pretend that they know it first, and then they start talking on the next one like, oh, they know. When in fact, this is where they learned it. Okay? But what happens is when an analyst comes out, he tries to jack up the price. He tries to bring stability into the trade. And then what happens is the stock grinds out. When it grinds out like that, guess what's going to happen? Within 24 to 48 hours, an offering will be coming, if not by the end of the day, and it'll be all priced and ready to go. And that's why they keep it up. You can see this is a pure offering being ready to be put together. I have an idea of what it's going to be, but I don't want to share it to the room just yet because I have the room. A lot of my traders are going to figure it out, and whoever's closest, I might reward them, take care of them. But I just want you to see that the idea of the stock was to pop at the open right here. It's a phase half, which I always like to short the phase half. If it hits the 15 area, don't worry about it. Take it down 2 to 3 points. 15 means it's coming down to 12 and under. It was not a full gap fill. I did not call this to 10. I said, keep an eye. If it snaps 13, we'll get that 12 and we'll finish off. And I'm looking for, again, 15 with a 3-point pullback. Okay, so, and here's the trade. Ding, 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 ding. And I was trying to get that initial pop at the open, get it a little bit more. It stopped around under 14, scale in short, room to 15, and take it down 2 points to 3 points. So here's 2, and I think we could probably close out around 11.50 unless they just keep grinding out. And expect an ATM within 48 hours. Okay. The next one I think you're going to really love is ADMA. This one, oh, this is my baby. I knew this one. I didn't even have to look at it. ADMA, FDA approval, right there. That right there tells you to short the stock. Yeah, yes, sir. And Awesomecallstrading.com. FDA approval to short the stock, especially on small cap. And if you don't know it, you know it now. And so, why everyone's chasing the stock in pre-market, thinking it's oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. No. We wanted a short, and I called it out way before this thing even started trading. I mean, it was done. And I called out $5.25 to $5. $5 to $5.25. I saw it, like I told you, it's like chess. I saw it when it was sitting up here in the $6.80, $6.50, $7. This was going to $5 and 5.25. No ands, ifs, or buts. I wanted the sheep to chase it higher to give more range to my short sellers in the room. Why? Because it's an FDA approval. I don't understand, AJ. How do you know this? Well, I want you to see the stock in general for the last, let's take a look for the last, since December. Okay. So I want you to see what they did here in December. It's really important you kind of understand. See this? It's a $2 stock. And see how they all kind of built up these are what we call in our industry bag holders. They are holding the bag in hopes that they'll get an FDA approval or something good will happen to the company. So in reality, it did. But guess what happens when you have millions and millions and millions and millions of shares being held for FDA approval? That's right. You get a sell-off. That's exactly what it's doing. All right, and by doing that, I'm looking at where it's, see, again, I'm going to show you another trick. This is where it kind of gets annoying because all I'm doing is teaching these rooms how to trade. Okay, do you see how it opened up on the unhalt? Do you see where it hit? See that $5 spot? You see it? You see it now, right? I saw it. All I did was look at that and well, it's going back to 5. It's not going to fill this gap. Not today, but I'm going to take it down to 5.25 just to give myself a little range, and then I'm going to take it down to 5. You don't believe me? Look at the amazing notes. Anything towards 7, watch for top each, short it, slow back fader to 5 to 5.25. I don't think this will hold up, so let it set up. Look at that. Imagine being in our room today. You had that opportunity with 1,000 shares, 5,000 buying power. Could have made $2,000 today, huh? Meanwhile, you're fucking around with your MU for 30 cents because you saw these lines. Unbelievable. Anyway, and you didn't have to short it like 7,000 times like I see these guys do all the time. I mean, it's so ridiculous. They literally show like 95 arrows. Like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Do you not understand how a stock trades? Why you got 90 different trades in there? I'm adding. Why don't you just go short one time? Because the stock's going to bleed out. And see, that is the difference between Awesome Calls Trading and any other room. Okay? What sets us apart and will always set us apart is the ability to know where the stock's going to go before it even trades. And you can never find that kind of room out there, ever. Everyone else, if you look, that you're paying for right now, it's telling you, basically the chart is saying that if it breaks here, the chart. You hear that? How many times do you hear that a day? The chart will tell me it's going to break. I'm sorry. With AJ and Awesome Calls Trading, it's the news. The news tells AJ where it's going to go. That's why we trade with AJ, because he'll know in 2 seconds where it's going to go. Then you can chart it out. How are you going to chart something if you don't know why it's going to go down? Well, how do you know it's even in play? You need the news first. See the difference? That's why you come to Awesome Calls Trading. You get one step above everyone else. Next trade that we did today, got to give shout out to B-Trades, CTRM. AJ, it's like he's drawing the chart to fit his wording. Yeah. That's what I'm doing, Tommy. And when you watch me trade, I mean, it's the news that tells you how to dictate where the trade's going to go. And you see it every day in here, every day, you know? And once you understand the news and the move behind the trade, boom, boom, you're done. You're going to a whole nother level of trading, okay? Now, CTRM. CTRM. Let's talk about CTRM for a second, okay? CTRM, B-Trades caught it. This had to have been a chat room pump. Somebody was trying to pump it in the room. I don't want to say the names because it's not necessary, but you could tell it was being excited and, you know, basically typical pump and dump. And the mods buy the stock down here, and then they're in about mid-morning. They go, "Oh my gosh, Castor Marine Time's gonna have news. Oh my gosh, I think they're gonna. Oh my gosh, I think they're gonna do something in the water." And so everybody in the room goes, "Oh my god, oh my god. I guess I should buy it, huh? Yeah, you should." And they hyping it, and yet there's nothing going on. It's bullshit. It's like a buoy. You ever traded OPTT? Stupid buoy in the ocean. I mean, this is what this is. This is just dumb. But you can still make money on done trades because if you're in the right room, you know what to do with it. And B trades, second to none. This man, off the hook. He cut off the breakout here at around 570, 580. He was telling us to watch it. As soon as it broke out, he goes, "I'm taking it at 8." That's what he said. You can screenshot. You can do whatever you want. That's what he wrote. He gave us the spots. Next spot 680. Next spot 7. I think he said 728 or something. The next spot 8. And I mean, this was just incredible. There's nothing you could do. It's just simply incredible. Great play there. And he walked it up from 570 to 770 for a 2-point trade. It's definitely worth a chart tonight. The next trade we did was LW. Oh my goodness, LW. Oh my goodness, LW. You never heard of it? I'm sorry. It's because you're in a shitty fucking room. You'd rather trade this. Here, this is the difference between you and us. You see this trade? 6, 7 points? Knowing where it was going to go before it goes there? This is what you trade. 42.20 to 42.70. I saw it. You got all excited and did all these tweets for 50 cents. Why? Why do you fucking waste your time and shit like that? Pile in for 50 cents. Why don't you just take a nice no-brainer? Just, I don't understand people. It's because your moderators in there don't understand shit. They don't trade this stuff. Okay, and they never will because they're limited. All right, so this morning I was watching an earnings pop. Okay, and what was interesting about this, and look at this. Usually when they stay up like this, it's like an IPO or a company being bought out. And I was staring at them like, is this being bought out or did they merge? I couldn't understand this trading here. But then I read the report and I read the earnings and I just didn't feel it. I said, you know what, this stock is going to probably break. I would be shorting at 79. Give it room to 80 if it pops. Don't worry about it and let it just come down. In the first, literally 5 minutes of the open, it dropped 2.5, 3 points. So, wow, that's big news. PCG, I have to interrupt for a second. You know, traders, I don't mind you picking up some here at 18 and add some to 1780. I don't mind it on that news, okay? Just so you know. I can't do it right now, but I don't mind you picking it up. I think it'll retrace. I think it's good news. If they're near a deal with a hedge fund on CEO and then Bill Johnson comes aboard, I think it's positive for the stock. Don't worry. Don't size in. Just take maybe a little and then let it kind of drip a little bit. And once you see that curl through 810, wait for 810 to show you a breakout, and then you should be able to do it. The news is good for the company, in my opinion. So keep an eye on it, okay? Watch the 1810 breakout. And then tomorrow we'll look at analyst updates on it, okay? Thank you, Darkside. So basically, on something like this, I want to give props to Leanna and I think Brandy and Joel and a few others. I tried to short this. Unfortunately, TD did not have shorts. And if you look at it, it was just a gap fill play. I mean, it came all the way back down to 74. And if you look at the notes I wrote on it, LW, which is right here, item number 9, I would go short. And if it opens towards 80, add to it and look for a $75 or under gap fill. And there it is. And voila. He actually got 73. Got 2 points better. Isn't that a beautiful trade? 79, 70. And even if you covered at 75, who cares? It did come down lower. And when some of the traders are bouncing it back to 75 now, off that 73. Just a beautiful trade. I mean, my goodness. Could you imagine 500 shares? 6.5 points, 6 points. I mean, $3,000 on this trade alone. 35,000 buy power. Pretty cool, huh? The next stock was Calm. Now, this just was a no-brainer. I mean, first of all, I'm looking at this bagel we're sitting down here. I'm like, well, why is this gapping up? Okay, again, first question you got to ask. I don't need levels and technicals and anything right now. I just want to know, why is it gapping up? Well, Credit Suisse decided to give an upgrade on the stock this morning, and they upped the price. Credit Suisse is right here on Calm. Credit Suisse basically gave an outperform from neutral and increased it from 20 to 34. Okay, so that's going to get some noise on it. Plus, it was gapping up. So I said, watch the stock pop towards 24 and take it down to 22.75. So in other words, if you follow this to a T, you literally, if you just did what I told you, and the Great Fire got in there at 24.20 short. I mean, he nailed it, and he's still holding it for his last piece because him and I both saw that 22.75, and I still see 22.75. But I want you to show you the magnitude of this trade. Just for a second, if you look and understand, you're going to gap fill first. So if you have 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares ability, and you scale in 2,000, and if it does drop down to 22.75, you literally make $2,800 on this trade with 2,000 shares. If you do 1,000, you make 1,200, because I'm actually telling you where the stock's going to go and why. I'm telling you. I'm actually, believe it or not, guaranteeing you where it's going to go. And then when it goes there, then you could buy 27 and 28 calls. I don't know what more I could do for you. What, grab you by your shirt and shake you? Buy, short this stock, short this stock, short this stock. What's that going to do for you? If you don't pull the trigger, it doesn't matter. There's an old saying out there. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. I mean, I want you to look at this trade, and I want you to laugh at it, because I want you to go, why the fuck couldn't I trade that today? Why didn't I get in there and fucking trade that? Oh my God. Are you ready? I said the stock would go short at 24 plus, 22.75. You're going to shit your pants when you look at the chart. You ready? Here we go. Calm. 24 pop at the open. Scale in short. 22.75. Guess where it is right now? And where do you think it's going to go? It's 22.87. Wow. Isn't that better than trading MU for 30 cents? Isn't it? Isn't it more rewarding? And you know what the difference of this room is? We know where the stock's going to go, and we do this every fucking day. The thing is that why it's so hard to emulate our room is because I pick 12 different stocks every day. So you don't know where my mind is thinking. And all of a sudden I'll throw you a COM with an upgrade, or I'll throw you an AMDA, or I'll throw you an SGMO, and you can't keep the fuck up. You can't keep up. You know why? Because you haven't been trading long enough. You're running a room based on the little that you learned in here. And you're just fucking up people's accounts because you're stupid. You just don't know enough. You got to be seasoned. That's why every day I can come in and pick any stock anytime, anywhere. Show me the gap, show me the news. I'll tell you how to trade it. That's it. Done. I don't need arrows, lines, DVDs. I don't need any. I just tell me why it's up. I'll tell you where it's going. That's the beauty of this room. But not only do I not trade it with you, I actually tell you what to do. I tell you an entry point, an exit point, what to look for, tell you to be patient. You want to see a patient trade today? Look at this trade, CVS. One thing you got to know about CVS, I'm sorry, not CVS, CLVS. One thing you got to know about CLVS is it's slow. Okay, I'm sorry, it's slow. And every time it gaps, the gaps get filled. So write that down. If you're a pro, you should know this already. But if you're not, and you're just learning the game, CLVS always fills the gap. Unless they got a phase 2 primary endpoint, there's no gap. It's flying because everybody loves this stock. But when it comes to just basic news, I think this news this morning was just kind of just written PR. I don't know who wrote it. Where is it? CLVS, CLVS, CLVS. Right here. Interim results. Interim results. Oh, okay. On a phase 2. So it's not a primary endpoint. But I wanted you to take some at 24.50 and then add on the pull to 24 and then walk it up to 25.26. I think the news should have done it. So this one was really good. A lot of traders took this trade this morning. You see how it popped to 25.29? So I just needed it to gap fill. So it pulled to 24.50 about right here. And I said, go ahead and take some, add on the dip. And if you got a 24.25 average, guess what you did? 25.10. Just walk it up. 500 shares. Make $300 and $400 this trade. And you could have shorted the stock in pre-market from here at 24.86 and slapped it down for 80 cents. And then move it right back up. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful play there. I'm going to give you another one. OSTK. And we'll end with this one. Now this one was just, this is just, other than Lyft and Snap, this is just a piece of shit stock. It really is. Back in the day, we used to trade it almost every day. I knew what it was going to do then, because it just ran on air. Anything news that made it run. But this nowadays, it's just, it's so predictable. First of all, you got to look at why you're gapping up. And I love OSTK, but the problem is TD never has shares. Shares are very limited out there. I don't know. Just probably because it's so damn predictable. But OSTK was gapping up. Look at that. 1766 from 1620. And why? Do you know why? Do you have any clue? Most of you don't, unless you're in this room. OSTK was gapping up because Bitcoin ran a little bit. So why not just throw up OSTK and think it's worth 30 a share or something? No. You got to be smart. You got to scale in short, room to 18, take it down, gap fill it back to 1620 and under. That's it. That's the trade. That's it. You don't long the stock. See how I wrote it? It was our number 3 pick. Start scaling in short. If it opens to 18, add to it, take it down to 1650 and under. That's it. And if you're lucky for it to curl, great. You can maybe make a few dollars, a few cents. But the bottom line, it's a short all the way. And you can get at least 1 point or more, depending on how much it pops. Again, I don't need channels. I don't need lines. I don't need anything. I don't need anything. And that is today's great webinar. I'm going to close out with, I'm going to give you something for free. I'm going to give you an IPO. I picked the IPO for the week is going to be NGM. Won't tell you any more than that. I'm not going to say any more. Only the room will know. But what is it? NGM is going to be an amazing IPO. NGM. It's coming out April 4th. Okay? Just want to share that with you. Don't say I didn't give you anything. Okay? NGM. I already went over it in detail with the chat room. I already put it up in our header board. There you go. So, I want to thank you for joining today, awesomecallstrading.com. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to be a part of our room, just click here and join for a day, week, or a month. If you join for a month, on certain links, depending on which link you hit, I will give you how to trade the open to help you out to get you started. And if you join for 6 months or a year, I'll throw on my other DVD one-on-one for you, so you have that. Also, follow me on Twitter at AJTrader7, and you can join Discord, which is free for everyone to join, and it's amazing. And we have currently 1,102 members in there, 221 online. Congratulations. We are on our way to 1,500 to 2,000. Thank you, Darkside. You're amazing. And I never go in here. This is for you guys and girls. Go in there, talk. It's Darkside runs it. Mods are in there. The Great Fire's in there. B Trades is in there. Janny's in there. Raphael goes in there. You can talk to all the top pros. But this is for you. I do enough talking here. I do enough. You don't need my voice in there. That's all about you. And so that's for you. And then you can always visit my YouTube channel, which is any of my recordings. I have over 100 of them, all for you, all for free. I could sell each of them, I guess, for $400 each. Be mean, but no. I think the decision I made this year is to show talent, and talent will win over anything. That's what I'm doing. I love you all. I want to appreciate you for being a part of our great room. So let's recap. ADMA, SGMO, OSTK, COM, LW, CLVS, and CTRM. And my freebie IPO to watch out for on April 4th is NGM. Watch it. All right, take care. Be well. And I'll see you. Bye-bye.